Hello kids, welcome to Rapid Gyan. So in this video we are going to study exercise 1.4 of class 10th. So we will just take care of the introduction part where we will be understanding the concept, the theorem given which is required to solve the exercise 1.4, and we'll solve few examples. Okay. So what we are going to do, we are going to study the topic name rational numbers and their decimal expansion. The first question comes, what are rational number or what is a rational number? So what is a rational number? So rational numbers, we know that there are real numbers, and real numbers are further divided into two types of number. One is your non-decimal numbers and another one is decimal numbers. This I have already told in the class 9th class, that one is non-decimal and another one is decimal. Okay. So non-decimal numbers are those numbers -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, like this. So they are called integers. What they are called? Integers. Okay. And decimal numbers are of three types. One is terminating. One is terminating, which I have told you, something like 1.25 or 0.32, something like this. They are terminating. Another one is non-terminating, non-terminating and repeating. Non-terminating and repeating. So what are the numbers? Those are non-terminating and repeating, like 3.2525 and so on. So this I can also write like this, 3.25 bar. And the last category of the decimal numbers are non-terminating and non-repeating. Non-terminating and non-repeating. So these are the numbers are like 0.00101000001, like this. So they are non-terminating and non-repeating. So we know this, that these kind of numbers who are terminating and non-terminating repeating, these are called rational numbers. What are they called? Rational numbers. Okay. And this non-terminating and non-repeating, this is called your irrational number. Okay. They are called irrational numbers, and we know that rational numbers can be written in the form of P upon Q, where Q is not equal to 0. So now look into these integers. So integers, we can also write all the integers. Suppose this is an integer 2. So I can write 2 is equal to 2 upon 1. I can write 3 is equal to 3 upon 1. Means I can write these integers also in the form of P upon Q, where Q is not equal to 0. So what you are seeing from here, that these integers are also called rational numbers. So in actual, the real numbers are divided into only two parts, rational numbers and irrational number. This I am telling you, this is just the revision part, so that we will, this I am not, this is not required in this chapter, this is just for the revision. Okay. So you understand what are rational numbers? So suppose you will have to find the decimal expansion of a number. So how you are going to find the decimal expansion of a number? So for example, suppose a number is given 4 upon 5. This is a rational number, and you will have to find the decimal expansions. How will you find it? You will simply, what you will do? You will divide 4 by 5. Okay. So it's 0. I will get over here decimal, then 8 ja 40, and I will get 0. So my answer is 0.8. You said, okay, I got it. Okay, so this is fine. You got the answer, but you got the answer by division method. By division method. Now suppose I am going to ask you a question. Can you find the answer of 4 upon 5 without division? Okay, answer, sir, how can we find? Yes, we can find it. You will have to find the answer of 4 upon 5 without division. So that thing we are going to study in this chapter. So there is a theorem in this chapter. So first I am going to make you understand that theorem. Please listen my words very carefully. Okay. So what's the theorem is saying? So your theorem is saying that there is a rational number P upon Q. There is a rational number P upon Q where Q is not equal to 0. Okay, so this is your rational number, beta, correct? What is this? This is your rational number, and we know that the rational numbers are of two types. One is terminating one is terminating, another one is non-terminating repeating. Okay, non-terminating and repeating. Listen very carefully, guys. Okay, repeating. Okay. Now, what are those terminating? So, in case of terminating rational numbers, what we will do if the prime factorization of, I am talking about terminating. Okay, so in case of terminating, the prime factorization of the prime factorization of q. So if a rational number is terminating, question over here, if rational number is terminating, then the prime factorization of q can be written in the form of of 2 to the power n into 5 to the power m. How we can write? We can write in the form of 2 to the power n and 5 to the power m, where n and m are whole numbers. What are whole numbers, by the way? So whole numbers are, come here beta, whole numbers are these numbers from 0 to positive infinity. They are called whole numbers. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 till end, they are called whole numbers. Okay. So what is it saying? What's your theorem is saying? That if a rational number is terminating, means suppose we know that this is a terminating rational number which is given in the form of p by q. Okay, so this is a terminating rational number which is written in the form of p upon q. Then we can say that the factors of q, means the q can be written in the form of 2 to the power n and 5 to the power m, where n and m are whole numbers. And of course, so this is one theorem. So theorem by one way. Okay, so this is a way. So its reverse way will also be true. So what will be your reverse way? Reverse way will say that if q is equal to 2 to the power n and 5 to the power m, where n and m are whole numbers, then we can say that the given rational number is a terminating rational number. So it's true in both the ways. Okay, so this is what your theorem is. I will just show this in your book. So here is your book. Okay, so in your book, okay, let me open your book over here. Here is your book. So in this book, what you are seeing? So this is your theorem. So what's the theorem is saying, beta? Your theorem is saying that let x be, just read this theorem very carefully, understand this theorem very carefully. What is it? Let x be a rational number whose decimal expansion terminates. This is what I was saying over here, that if there is a rational number which is terminating means its decimal expansion terminates, correct? So this is what the first line is saying, that if x be a rational number whose decimal expansion terminates, then x can be expressed in the form of p by q. Yes, because that's a rational number, so we can express this in the form of p by q. And after that, what they are saying, where p and q are co-prime and the prime factorization of q is of the form 2 to the power n and 5 to the power m, where n and m are non-negative numbers. So what are non-negative numbers? Non-negative numbers are called whole numbers. I have told you here now. See, the number of, like, including 0 and right? So this -1, -2, -3, they are negative numbers. So non-negative numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3. So they are non-negative integers. Okay, beta? So this is what I have explained over here. So same thing has been written, that if there is a rational number who terminates means that they are having terminating decimals. So in that case, q can be written in the form of 2 to the power n, 5 to the power m, where n and m are non-negative integers. So non-negative integers are your whole numbers. Okay, so this was your theorem 1.5. So I have told you that this theorem can be written from both the ways. One way is this, okay, where first thing we have assumed, like we know, so what is given. So in this way, what is given? Your given part is that the rational number is terminating, okay, and output part is that if it is terminating, that q can be written in the form of 2 to the power n and 5 to the power m. In the reverse way, what will be your given part? Your given part will be that q is in the form of 2 to the power n and 5 to the power m, and output part will be that the rational number will be terminating. So this is your next theorem, theorem 1.6. So theorem 1.6 is saying that suppose x equal to p upon q be a rational number such that prime factorization of q is 2 to the power n, means this is given. This is your given part. Given part is that q is equal to 2 to the power n, 5 to the power m. So if this is given, so what will be your output part? Your output part will be that x is a decimal expansion which terminates. This is what I have explained over here. So hope you guys understand this. Okay. Now coming to the what's the relation of non-terminating and repeating. So if I'm explaining over here, beta, if q is not equal to 2 to the power n, 5 to the power m, if q is not equal to 2 to the power n and 5 to the power m, then in that case those kind of rational numbers are non-terminating and repeating. Those kind of rational numbers are non-terminating and repeating. This is what your theorem third, theorem 1.7. So see what your theorem 1.7 is saying. Theorem 1.7 is saying that if x equal to p upon q be a rational number such that prime factorization of q is not, listen this, look at this, q is not of the form 2 to the power n, 5 to the power m, where these are n are non-negative numbers. X has a decimal expansion which is non-terminating repeating, which is non-terminating repeating. This is what I have told you. So these are the three theorems given in your book. Hope you guys understand this theorem. We are going to use this theorem to solve few examples. You will understand this. Okay. So first example is this. Let's talk about this. 4 upon 5 equal to 0.8. So now what is the 4 upon 5? What is the value of q? Q is equal to 5. So can you write this q in the form of 2 to the power n and 5 to the power m, where n and m are whole numbers? So one question you will ask, sir, in this in the denominator only we are having 5, we are not having 2, correct? Right question. So how you are going to write? Because we know that 4 upon 5 is a terminating decimal. 4 upon 5 is a terminating decimal, correct? So it means if it's a terminating, you can write the value of q in the form of 2 to the power n and 5 to the power m. So how will you write? So you will simply write 2 to the power 0 and 5 to the power 1. Okay, just understand anything to the power 0 is equal to 1. If I am going to write 5 to the power 0, it will 1. 10 to the power 0, it will give me 1. Means anything to the power 0 is equal to 1. If I am going to put 0 above your name, suppose your name is Atul, if I will put Atul to the power 0, so it will give me answer 1. Okay. So here the denominator I can write in the form of 2 to the power 0, 5 to the power 1. Got it? Now we are going to solve few questions on this. So what are those questions? So let me write few questions. These questions are from your textbook only, okay, in the example section. So first question is, I will just write few rational numbers, 3 upon 8. Second, I will write it 13 upon 125. Third question, I will write 7 upon 80. And let's say fourth one is your 1 upon 7. Sorry, fourth one is your, let me clean it. Fourth one is your 1 upon 7. Okay. So what's your question? Your question is that tell me whether these rational numbers are terminating or non-terminating without division technique. Okay. Tell whether following rational numbers, I'll just write it over here, following rational numbers are terminating or not. So how you are going to do this? So of course you are going to do the factorization of the denominator. So here if you will do the factorization of 8, what you will get? You will get like this. I can write it 3 upon 2 to the power cube. So if 2 is coming, so I can always write this 5 to the power 0, because 5 to the power 0 is equal to 1. So yes, this I can write it in the form of 2 to the power n and 5 to the power m. Hence we can say that this 3 upon 8 is a terminating rational number. Now come to 13 upon 125. So for 125, so 125, if you will do the factorization of 125 is 5, 25, it's 5, it's 5, then 5, it's 1. So this I can write 13 upon 5 cube. So here I am seeing there is no 2. So I can write beta 2 to the power 0. So yes, this also I can write in the form of 2 to the power n and 5 to the power m. So if I can write this in the form of 2 to the power n, 5 to the power m, it means it's a terminating, correct? Let's do the same for 7 upon 80. So 7 upon 80, so let's do the factorization of 80. What you will get? 2, 40, then again 2, it's 20, and it's 2, it's 10, and 2, it's 5, and then it's 5, it's 1. So it means this is 7 upon 2 to the power 4, 5 to the power 1. So this is already in the form of 2 to the power n and 5 to the power m. So yes, this is also terminating decimal. Now come to the 7. So this I can write 1 upon 7 to the power 1. So this is not so okay. Now you will ask me, sir, in the above questions, first and second question, there was no 5, so you have written 5 to the power 0. In the second question, there was no 2, you have written 2 to the power 0. So here also there was no 2 and no 5, so here also I can write 2 to the power 0 and 5 to the power 0, correct? So even though after writing 2 to the power 0 and 5 to the power 0, is the denominator in the form of 2 to the power n and 5 to the power m? No, the denominator is not in the form of 2 to the power n, because the denominator 7 is also coming now. Look here, 7 is also coming in the denominator. So if 7 is also coming in the denominator, so denominator is not in the form of 2 to the power n and 5 to the power m. Correct? So this is your beta non-terminating. So if in the denominator, apart from 2 and 5, if there is any other number comes, in the prime factorization, any other prime number comes in the denominator which is neither 2 nor 5, then that particular rational number is non-terminating and repeating decimal. They are non-terminating and repeating. Hope you guys understand this. Any doubt in this? Okay, so if you are having doubts, please feel free to ask your doubts in the comment section. We will get back to you. Okay. So let's solve few more questions. So this is one question. Okay, without division, you will have to tell that whether this is terminating or non-terminating. But one question which I have asked in the starting of the question, in the starting of this particular exercise. So what was that question in this particular class? The question which I have asked, that here you have founded the value of 4 upon 5 which is equal to 0.8, and you have founded that value via division method. But now you will have, so I have asked one question, can you find this value without division method? So that one thing which I am going to tell, how to find the value without division method. So before going on that topic, please remember that we can only find the value of terminating decimals. Without division method. For non-terminating and repeating, we will again have to go for the division method only. But for terminating decimals means for this kind of decimals, for this kind of this one means in this question, for this first three questions we can find the value without going for the division method, but for the fourth question we will have to go for the division method, because the fourth question is your non-terminating and repeating decimal, but these three are terminating decimals. Okay beta, so now I am going to solve one by one. So first question was your 3 upon 8. First question was your 3 upon 8. So what you will have, first write the denominator in the prime factorization form. So this will become 3 upon 2 cube. So what you will have to do, beta, one thing which you will have to remember, which you will have to actually memorize, that if you will have to find the decimal expansion of a rational number which is there in the form of p by q, so what will you do? First thing you will find out ki whether that rational number is terminating or non-terminating. Okay. So if it's non-terminating, you will have to go via division method. But if it's terminating, you will have to go via this method which I am going to tell you right now. So in this method, what you will have to do, just put this thing in your mind, it's very important beta. So what you will have to do, you will have to create a pair of or multiple, just one. I will just write create pairs of 2 and 5. Create pairs of 2 and 5 in denominator. If you will be able to create this, your question is solved. Okay, so just you will have to mark these words. So come here, come to this question. So in this question, what you are seeing? 3 upon 2 cube. So 3 upon 2 cube. So this I can write it like this: 3 upon 2 times 2 times 2. Correct? So you will have to create the pairs of 2 and 5. So how many 2's are there? So there are 3 2's. So it means we will have to find 3 5 also. Then only we will have 3 pairs. Okay. So just you will have to, in the denominator, only the pairs. Alone 2 cannot exist. Alone 5 cannot exist. Okay. You will have to do something to ensure that 2 and 5 cannot left alone. So here you are seeing there are 3 2's. So what I will do? I will simply beta? I will simply multiply 3 5's like this. Okay. So since I have multiplied 3 5's in the denominator, again I will have to multiply those 3 5's in the numerator, so that your rational number will not change. Correct? So actually what I have done over here, so this is your 3 upon 2 cube. So already there are 3 2's are there. So I have multiplied with 5 cube numerator and denominator and numerator both. So what I will get? 3 times 5 cube. So 5 cube is 125. So 3 into 5 cube. So this is what this will become: 2 cube into 5 cube. So see here beta, 2 5's are 10, 2 5's are 10, 2 5's are 10. So this is nothing but your 10 cube. Correct? Beta, a to the power n into b to the power n can be written like a times b to the power n. Okay, so this I can write 2 times 5 to the power n. N is 3, so to the power 3, which is your 10 to the power 3. So 3 into 5 to the power 3 upon 10 to the power 3. So this is your 3 into 125 upon 1000. So 125 times 3 is your 375. So 375 divided by 1000. So what will be your answer? So what you are seeing over here beta, in the denominator there are 3 zeros. So means you will have to count 1, 2, 3 and here comes the decimal. So your answer will be 0.375. So that's your answer. Can you see that we have got the answer without going for the division method. Correct? So let's go for the next question. So what was your next question? Next question was 13 upon 125. 13 upon 125. So what you are going to, so in the denominator it was 13 upon, this was 5 cube. So what you will have to do? There are 3 5s but no zeros. So you will have to multiply with 2 cube up and down. Oh, 1 second. Sorry. Let me rub it. So this I will multiply 2 cube. So what you will get? 13 times 2 cube means 13 times 8 divided by. What will happen? 5 cube into 2 cube. So this will again become your 10 cube. So 13 times 8 is equal to 13 8 ja 104 divided by 1000. So again your answer will be beta 0.104. That's your answer. Okay, what was the next question? 7 upon 80. So let's solve this also. So 7 upon 80. So this was 7 upon 2 to the power 4 into 5 to the power 1. So now what you are saying, there are 4 2's but only 1 5. So it means what you will have to do in this case, there are 4 2's and only 1 5 means you will have to multiply 3 more 5's. So just multiply with 5 cube and 5 cube. So which will give me beta 7 times 125 upon 2 times 4 multiplied by 5 times 4. So this will become 10 times 4 beta. This will become 10 times 4. And 125 times 7 is 875. So 875 divided by 10 times 4, which is means 10,000. Okay, so what will be your answer? So there are 4 zeros and on the numerator only there are 3 digits. So what will be your answer? 0.0875. That's your answer. Okay, so now you guys seen what have you seen over here? So you have seen that we can find the decimal expression of a rational number. If that rational number is terminating, then we can find its decimal expression without going for the division method. That's it from this chapter. So guys, in the next video we will be solving exercise 1.4. What we are going to solve? We are going to solve exercise 1.4, but I will recommend all of you to go ahead, after watching this video, just go ahead and solve exercise 1.4 by yourself. Okay, and once you are done with your solution, then come here and watch my next video. Okay, so next video I will be uploading very soon, either today or maximum by tomorrow. So please make sure to subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification. How will you turn the notification? There is a bell icon. If you see after the subscribe button, so there is a bell icon. Click on that bell icon and select the all. After clicking on that bell icon, select the all. So that means you have turned the notification on. And what's the benefit of turning the notification on? The benefit of turning the notification on is that as soon as I will upload the next video, you will be notified that next video is uploaded. Okay, and if you are having any doubt, any query, please write your doubts, write your queries in the comment section. If not, just send me an email to info@rapidgyan.com. I have already started receiving so many emails. Okay, and I am replying to those emails one by one. So you guys are also feel free to send me your doubts, your question, your queries on this email, or you can put that in the comment section. I will reply it over there. Alright guys, thank you.